Your Honor, Honorable Said Juma Chitembwe, Judge, welcome to this interview, and thank you for being here. Honorable Judge, this will be more of a conversation.
Excuse me. Judge, just a minute to take a photograph from the daily.
Okay.
Just a minute.
I think that is enough now. Once again, Honorable Judge Chitembwe, welcome to this interview, and thank you for being here. And as I was saying earlier, Judge, this is a conversation, so please relax and answer questions as precisely as possible, Your Honor. The interview will be by the 9 commissioners, and it's now my pleasure to ask the commissioners to introduce themselves. And I'll start with myself. I'm Olive Mugeda, Commissioner, and sharing these interviews. And on my right.
My Lord, my name is Philomena Mwilo. I represent the Supreme Court on the Commission. I'm also the Deputy Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. You're welcome.
Good morning, Judge. I'm Patrick Eshohi, representing Public Service.
Good morning, my Lord. My name is David Majanja, Judge of the High Court, representing Kenya Judges and Magistrates Association as the male representative. Thank you.
Sorry. Good morning, my Lord. My name is Oluwande Evelyn. I'm a Chief Magistrate. I represent the Kenya Magistrates and Judges Association as a female representative. You're welcome.
Good morning, my Lord. My name is Machari Njero. I'm representing the Law Society of Kenya.
Good morning, Judge. My name is Felix Koske. I represent the public.
Good morning, my Lord. My name is Mohammed Warsame. Welcome.
A very good morning, my Lord. Kehara Kariuki. I am the Attorney General, and I'm a member of this commission by virtue of my office.
Thank you, commissioners. Honorable Judge, just one more thing. If you're not sure of the question, or if it's not clear, you are free to ask the commissioners to clarify or to repeat the question. And I'll now kick off the interview, Honorable Judge, by asking you to introduce yourself briefly, just very briefly, and then we'll continue. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you so much, Madam Commissioner Chair. My name is Said Juma Chitembwe, currently serving in the Civil Division of the High Court at Milimani Law Court. I was recruited in the judiciary on the 2nd of April 2009, and I've worked as a High Court judge in Kakamega, Malindi, Marsabit, and Migori. I've also had some visitation in Embu and Meru. Before then, I was a corporation secretary at the National Social Security Fund from the year 2003 up to 2009 when I was recruited. Before joining the Social Security Fund, I was a practitioner in Mombasa, in my own firm, which I started in 1994. So I've had that stint. When I finished the university in the year 1990, I went back for my master's at the University of Nairobi, which degree was not completed. But I went to the UK for a master's degree in human rights at the University of Essex. And I've been working in the legal field ever since I finished the university in 1990.
Okay, thank you very much, Your Honor. Please tell the Commission why you feel that you are suitable for this position and why the Commission should hire you, Judge Chitembwe.
Thank you so much. As I've already said, I've been in this judiciary for 12 years now, by last week. I have seen it from the period where it was even difficult to have a pen to write, or even a foolscap. And I've seen the good work done by the predecessors. I don't know whether to call them my predecessors. And the judiciary needs somebody who understands it, first and foremost. The judiciary needs somebody who is energetic, resourceful, and somebody who can work with those ones who are within. You appreciate the energies and the competencies of your colleagues, and you become the leader so that you enhance the institution. We know the core objective of the judiciary is to dispense justice. We have been dispensing justice, but coming from within, I know where we have done it well, I know where there are weaknesses, and I know where we can do better and improve the institution. So I believe if I'm to be appointed as the CJ, I'm not saying that I will dig a new foundation. I will build on what others have done with the sole purpose of improving the institution so that it can be what it is as per its vision and mission. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Judge. Please tell the Commission, Honorable Judge, what you see as the role of the Chief Justice. Again, briefly, but yeah, tell us.
The role of the Chief Justice, maybe I'll be using the word CJ, is quite wide. It's not something where you can say it's a simple job, but it is provided for in the Constitution as well as in the Judicial Service Act and the Supreme Court Act. Article 161 establishes the office of the CJ, who shall be the head of the judiciary. So that is the first role. The CJ is the head of the judiciary. You go to Article 163, establishing the Supreme Court. The CJ plays the role of being the president of the Supreme Court. He also presides over that court whenever they are hearing the matters. The other roles within the Constitution, which are, I can say they are duties, like forming the benches whenever there is an issue under Article 165(4) of the High Court to hear matters raising substantial issues of law. Turning to the Judicial Service Commission Act, there is Section 5, which provides for the duties of the Chief Justice. He is the head of judiciary as well as the president of the Supreme Court. He chairs the Judicial Service Commission. He chairs the National Council of Administration of Justice. I think the Act also under Schedule 3 has donated the power of reprimanding judicial officers, interdicting and warning them. So he has that role of ensuring that the staff abide by the code of conduct. There are other roles like being the leader of the judicial, the JLAC, we call it JLAC, Judicial Leadership and Council. The other roles are just to do your work and to preside over the court whenever you are called upon, and also you are the link between the judiciary and the other arms of government. So you are the face of the judiciary, I think.
Okay. Thank you very much, Judge. I'll ask you a few questions on leadership, Honorable Judge. The Commission and Kenyans in general are looking for a leader who will champion the transformation of the judiciary. So, Judge, would you describe yourself as a transformative leader? And if so, please demonstrate to the Commission what you have done in your career so far to support your position. In other words, Honorable Judge, what impact has your leadership achieved over the years? Thank you.
I believe this cuts across not within the judiciary, but in my life career. Okay, starting from leadership, you know, leadership, it's not that when you are there, you impose yourself as the chief or the kingpin of the institution. Leadership is something which is pragmatic, something which has been defined in many ways. There are those ones who get leadership through their own charisma. I'm not here to tell you that by being Said Chitembwe, I'm a charismatic leader, like the likes of Napoleon, who will be followed whatever they say. No. I'm not here to say I'm a traditional leader who can inherit the position of the previous CJ. But what I will say is I will be a people-centered leader, whereby you use the energies and experiences of those you are working with and transform the institution. I have had practical experiences. When I was at the NSSF, I was the head of the legal department with a platoon of 7 advocates and several staff.
Honorable Judge, could you maybe remove your mask so we can see you, because I think the social distance there is good enough. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So I've been a leader. I joined NSSF in 2003, and the institution had just started to be reformed, and I was part of that transformation leadership. Many Kenyans think that NSSF is an institution which is not run properly, but for the 6 years I was there, we were able to build up the institution from, I think, a portfolio of less than 40 billion by the time we were living with the 2 COOs I worked under. It was worth over 100 billion. I was part of the investment committee and would sit every Tuesday and do investment projects. Here in the judiciary, I've been a presiding judge in all the courts I've gone. I do work with the high and I do work with the low, the lowly staff. And if you go to every station I've been, there's been no problem. I've worked with everybody, and I've been able to reduce backlog in those courts, and the statistics are there for everybody to see. When I was in Kakamega, the numbers were high. Actually, it was not a one-court station. There were over 7,000 cases, and I overworked myself even to the extent of becoming diabetic. But the idea is you work for the people. So as a leader, I think coming now to the institution, what will I do as a leader to this institution? My vision is to ensure that we do the core mandate of this institution, which is to hear cases and clear the backlog. most of these issues of corruption and incompetence and problems from wananchi are because the cases are piling in court as much as we are hearing them, but they are not getting finished. So as a leader, we have to come with some alternative ways of clearing these cases. I'll give an example. I've been in Milimani for the last, from November last year. I've written over 50 rulings, but these rulings don't finish the cases. It's a ruling, stay of execution, enlargement of time. And the core problem is the typing of proceedings. This advocate believes that the appeal will take over 1 year to be heard. So why can't I get an order of stay? And I don't think it takes magic to have these proceedings typed. There is the magistrate court which generates the appeals, but it's so far delinked from the High Court. Even I don't know, we have never had any meetings between the magistrate court and the High Court to tell them that why is there any delay. But they also have their own problem. There are only 2 secretaries there. You can't blame them. So as a leader, what will you do to sort out these things? Because my quick gains is the appeals. In my view, an appeal should be heard within 3-4 months. And most of these appeals are maybe running down appeals, or maybe in the other divisions, criminal appeals, where 10 witnesses testified. And why can't the judiciary, I've been asking myself, why can't this judiciary be facilitating these appeals to be heard? What is so difficult? In fact, it's so easy to work in the outer stations than to work in Nairobi. In the outer stations, work moves faster than in Nairobi. I don't know why. And yet Nairobi is meant to be the focus of the judiciary. So in my transformative leadership, I would like to transform this problem, because most of the backlog is in Nairobi. Each division has more than 3,000-4,000 cases. I think the High Court has about 100,000 cases pending. So you can say I'm homegrown, and I do understand the institution. So this core mandate of transforming the core issue of dispensing justice to all, I think I am best placed to deal with this problem. I'm not saying I'll do it alone. You also need the energies of the registries. You need the energies of the secretaries to type. I've not understood why judges go for service week, yet we cannot pull secretaries for 2 weeks to type these proceedings. They can also be engaged in service week. All what you need to do is to pay them their per diems. I've also not understood why in the outer stations, the legal assistants, they type the proceedings. You call them, you talk to them, and you give each court assistant one file. By Thursday, from Monday, that file would have been typed. So everybody is engaged. In fact, in Malindi, even the drivers, they were incorporated to type proceedings. Typing means you type and the clerk will proofread, and even the judicial officer will proofread. So apart from the core mandate, the other issues like ensuring that the work environment is conducive for the staff. Thanks to those who have gone before us, there has been a great effort in developing the courts. When I came in, there were very few court stations, and even those ones which were there, getting a desk or an office to sit was also a problem. But I've seen the judiciary being transformed to where it is now. We are better off. At least I can say we have tried. It has been good work, and I do appreciate those who have gone before us. But we'll build on that so that the courts can be completed. In fact, if I were to be the new CJ, I would not even initiate any new law court. I would wait until all those which are in the process of being built to be completed, because I think we have quite a number of projects which are ongoing, and the resources seems to be limited. So you cannot be happy to open a plaque that you are starting the construction of a court which will take 10 years to be completed. You'd rather get the one which is ongoing to be completed, and I think we have more than 40 projects ongoing, and where are the resources going to come from? So maybe, I don't know whether I should continue or I've said enough, but my transformation agenda, there are those ones who, there is the strategic plan, which was started by Honorable Justice Maraga, 2019-2023. I will build on that so that we bring justice nearer to the people. We open up the counties which do not have high courts. We try to establish high courts, not necessarily by building new courts. I'll give an example like Isiolo. I've been there. The court which was there was sufficient to even harbor 2 judges. But we have built a very big court which may be there, and there is no judge there. And it's a very beautiful court. I wish that court could have been built in Meru, where even to get a space to sit is difficult. So sometimes, I know it's a World Bank project, but I don't think the World Bank insisted on building the court in Meru. It is us who would advise that we build the court in Meru. So there are those areas where it's people-driven, not... okay, as a leader, you take the responsibility of all what is being done in the judiciary, but you also consult. You don't just say, I need a court in Kwale. I know there is one being built in my county, and it's equally a bigger court, very big. It's a World Bank project. I don't know why the Mombasa one didn't start earlier than the Kwale one, because the Mombasa one is started just recently. So, Madam Chair, those are my thoughts. I can say more and more and more for the next 1 hour on this issue of leadership, because leadership is humility, leadership is being humble. You interact with all the staff in the institution. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge. I'll now request Acting Chief Justice, Honorable Lady Justice Philomena Mwilu, to continue with the questions.
I thank you. My Lord, let us stay with the transformation agenda. This institution of the judiciary, since the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution, has almost sung the transformation song. What to you is transformation, and why the transformation in this institution?
Thank you, Commissioner, Acting Chief Justice. The judiciary can be equated to an organization or even a business. And in every business, all the time, you have to keep up on your toes and keep on re-engineering the business and transforming it. Why the transformation song? That is a very vital question. We have to know where we came from. When I was recruited, I think there were 30-something judges, both in the High Court and the Court of Appeal. We were 42, I think, that time in 2009. And with a population then of about 40 million, I don't think the judiciary would have served the public. And that's why when Honorable Mutunga came in as per his famous quote, he found the judiciary in a position which it could not dispense justice. And it was considered as another arm of the government. Independence of the institution, not of the individual judges, was perceived to have been lost. And with the coming in of the new constitution, there was the need to transform this institution. That's why we saw the proposals even to have all the judges and judicial officers vacate their positions and reapply afresh. This one was reduced to the vetting, which we did go through. And that is now the background. You can see the public view on this.
All right, my lord, shall we move from the background then and come to you? And my lord, please tell this commission what Chief Justice Chitembwe brings in the form of transformative leadership in the institution. Chief Justice Mutunga did his part, JTF. Chief Justice Maraga did his part, SJT. What is Chief Justice Chitembwe's thing? What is it?
I think
my lord, you are off here.
Thank you. For the first 6 months in office, I will not intend to bring in any new agenda other than picking from the SJT. The duration of the SJT plus the strategic plan is still running. I already know what the institution weaknesses are and where to enhance. So an institution is like an organization. If you are appointed as a new CEO, you don't come in with radical issues where you pluck this and that. But all I can say is I will pick up on the sustaining judiciary transformation. The same core issues, I will enhance them the way Justice Maraga did. Justice Maraga saw there was the 4 pillars of Justice Mutunga. Access to justice, Mutunga concentrated on building courts so that access to justice would have been closer. Justice Maraga emphasized on access to justice with the emphasis on the processes. So I will build on that. Transforming the institution, I will try as much as possible, and this I'm putting it in bold, to reduce the backlog. This is where the problem is, because any Kenyan who files a case expects it to be heard and to be completed as the Constitution requires, timely. If our vision is to dispense justice in a timely manner, how comes a case takes 10 years?
My lord, thank you. Maybe you could give us the title of your transformative leadership agenda.
My transformative leadership agenda will be to dispense justice within reasonable time, and I will come up with the timelines. To me, a new file, we have put 1 year, which is the current situation. I will not come up with any new style to say a file like a murder case should be had within 1 year. In fact, I will enhance it to 2 years, but strictly 2 years, to be completed within 2 years. I will come up with a strategy to complete an appeal within 1 year, and I will come up with a strategy to, I don't know, you wanted me to coin something.
Yes, my lord, that's what we're asking for.
Judiciary.
That's what we're asking for you.
Okay, so my label will be dispensing justice within reasonable time.
And that is all encompassing, my lord. So shall we then go to the next issue? My Lord, you told us earlier today the various roles of the Chief Justice. And you named quite a number of them. Kindly tell this commission which you consider to be the more important role of the Chief Justice, the challenges therein, and how you would overcome those challenges.
Okay, I would say all the roles are important because they're intertwined. Being the head of the judiciary covers all the other roles, and being the chairperson of the JSC, because the chairperson of the JSC is like the heartbeat of the judiciary, where the policies are being done, and the CJ and the administrative wing goes to implement. So the most important role is not, I would not say even presiding over the Supreme Court is very important, because you are the head of the judiciary. So your role is to ensure that the judiciary is working. So this covers the aspect of ensuring that the courts are dispensing justice, and the resources which are required to dispense that justice are available. Coming to the challenges of the CJ's office, it's not all sweet. It has its own bitter aspects. There is the role of being the head of the judiciary and working with the other arms of the government. There are those challenges where sometimes you might want to do something but the finances are not there. So finances would be one of the biggest challenging aspect of the position, because you want to complete a court but the finances are not there. You also want to, even last time we wanted to have benches to finish cases at the civil division, but there were no finances to pay the judges who would be called from other stations. Those will be the challenges. Other challenges include getting the commitment of each and every staff in the judiciary to be with you. There are those ones who will be with you. There are those ones who will just be hanging around. So there are those challenges where you have to motivate them as the leader. So the position is challenging because it has so many aspects which calls upon you to be the one giving guiding the others. But once you take up the position, you cannot just say I'm the CJ in the positive way, but whatever challenge, I'm not concerned. There are many challenges, Madam Acting Chief Justice. There are the challenges of dealing with the members of the public. What is their expectation? The public expects so much from the judiciary, and yet we cannot meet the expectation. So that is a challenge, and you cannot say within a year I would have satisfied everybody. It takes time.
My Lord, we are now looking for my Lord's way of overcoming those challenges. How do you surmount them, my Lord?
The problems cannot be surmounted overnight. It needs patience. It needs consultation. Consultation is one of the avenues to surmount those challenges. Another avenue is to maybe call upon the other arms of the government to understand the importance of the judiciary. Another aspect of surmounting them is to go down, not to be the ruler who comes in and carries the whip. Can you finish these cases? Can you do this? There are other aspects of administration which I believe I can do. I'll give an example of these anti-corruption cases. I've never understood why the law says the case should be heard from day to day, and yet it's not heard from day to day. It's parked in court for 3-4 years. And those are the challenges the Mwananchi cannot understand, because to the Mwananchi a corruption case involves somebody who is rich, and it takes 5 years or more, while somebody charged with stealing a phone is quickly prosecuted and sent to jail. So those are the challenges. How do I reconfigure this judiciary? And my policy would be, why would you take somebody all the way from Samburu to Nairobi to be charged? Why can't we have an anti-corruption court judge in Nyahururu? Why can't we have an anti-corruption court magistrate in Kisumu? I believe they are there. So, since I've said the core is the dispensation of justice, I've seen cases packed in Nairobi. A magistrate here has 10 anti-corruption cases with 35 witnesses each. How would you expect him to finish those cases?
All right. Thank you, my Lord. Let's now go to my Lord's role as the President of the Supreme Court. And I want to read to my Lord a statement here and then ask a question from it. Broadly speaking, a key dichotomy in legal thought is between normative legal theory and sociological approaches to law. What legal theory characterizes your judicial philosophy? That will be part 1. And part 2, so you can deal with all of it, is this. Should the law reflect social realities? If your answer is yes, is it to be applied equally to all? How does a judge determine what social interest or public policy to apply? That will universally be acceptable and fit within the dynamics of society. My Lord, we want a discussion on your judicial philosophy, on your legal philosophy as President of the court.
Okay. Legal philosophy, and as the President of the court, normative, sociological, the law is
and my Lord could also tell us, if you may, if this has crossed your path in the 12 years that you have been judge, and how you have resolved cases requiring the application of those two legal philosophies.
Thank you so much. I think sometimes it's so difficult to say this is my legal philosophy, because you will be facing several legal issues with the different dimensions. However, there are those who believe in positivism, where you apply the law as it has been prescribed by Parliament. I don't believe in that. The law is meant to serve us, and it is for the society. It's what the society wants, and apply the law so that you fulfill the needs of the society. So I will go with the sociological approach to the law. This law is, you can have a provision which is becoming difficult to implement because times are changing. So as President of the Supreme Court, I will be that pragmatic and use the sociological approach of applying the law. The law should reflect the social realities. I say yes, because what is its purpose? To serve the social, political, and economic aspects of the society. Should it be applied equally to all? I would say it will all depend on what is before the court. There are those instances where you can say these should apply to all, and there are those instances where it will depend. I can say no, it cannot be a principle of general application. Public interest, it's difficult to quench its thirst. So whenever I know one of the grounds of appeal to the Supreme Court is a matter involving public interest, so it can involve public interest, but it's contrary to certain established principles. So I will not be there just to say because the public wants this, then they should be given. That to me is no. I have been here for 12 years. There are some aspects of the law, and that's why I've been criticized. But one aspect of being a judge is to be criticized and not to be swayed by those criticisms. If I had to give practical examples, I would say maybe I should have written an article or even a book on these sexual offenses. If you go to the prisons currently, I believe Commissioner Olwande will bear me witness, robbery with violence is no longer an issue. There are very few cases of robbery with violence compared to defilement. So the prisons are full with young men charged with defilement cases. If we are to go with the law, anybody who defiles somebody below the age of 18 is guilty. That is what the law says. But what is the practicality? This is not something we can shy away with. Maybe, I don't know whether I'll be asked to explain later, but I'm just trying to give a brief synopsis of I've been asked of my experience. How do you take a 19-year-old young man to 15 years in jail for having had a relationship with a 17-year-old girl? How? I've tried to read quite widely on this issue. I've seen an example in America where they call the Romeo and Juliet laws, where they have the statutory rape, but they also have some exceptions. So we needed to come up with this. So in my own practical approach to the law, there is section 8.5 and 8.6 which gives a defense to this offense of defilement. If people have been dealing with each other for 3 years, why should I close my mind that because the age was not permitted, this person could not give the consent, I should convict the man?
My Lord, please give us, I'm getting towards the end of my discussion with you, but before we get there, and staying with what you have just said, my Lord, please tell us the instances that would bring the kind of discussion you and I are having to the minds of the judges of the Supreme Court, so that then we can decipher from that the role the president of the court would be playing in the manner my Lord is discussing?
Okay, I think the Supreme Court, by the time the matter reaches there, I don't know whether some of these ones will reach there. I expected some of them to reach the Court of Appeal.
Actually, that's the question, my Lord.
Yes. So, apart from what I was giving as an example, we are talking of a hypothetical situation. If it reaches there, what would the president of the court do? There it's a matter of discussing amongst the 5 judges who might be in the bench or more. But when now it comes to go back to the core aspect of the question, this aspect of normative and sociological approach and public interests, when it comes to the president of the court of, I know everybody is entitled to have his dissenting opinion. I know the judgment is by consensus, by the majority. But if I'm sitting as the president of the Court of Appeal, you don't want to impose because there it's not that you are the president of that court, so your decision is to be the first one to encompass the others. It's a matter of discussion and agreeing. But I will stick to my policy whereby the law should serve the society and not to be swayed so much so that whatever is written in the statute should reign supreme irrespective of the changes in the society. And there are ways of explaining that in the judgment which I will be writing. So I don't know whether I'm answering the core, because I think we have been not getting the core. What is the core? What will I do? So to me, I'll say I'll stick to my sociological policy.
And I thank you, my Lord. The Supreme Court, of which my Lord would be president should you become Chief Justice, sits in a multiple judge bench, always, except for those entry points of very minor things. There is such a word as collegiality. Would my Lord please tell us what that is in practical terms, and what my Lord would do with it amongst the colleagues in the court?
I became so much conversant with collegiality from our current AG when we went for these colloquiums, and his keyword and emphasis is collegiality. We are colleagues. The simple meaning is that we are all colleagues serving the same institution, and as the Supreme Court we are colleagues, so that whenever we are sitting as a bench, we should discuss what is our view of the matter, not bringing in the personal aspect of interpretation, but we discuss as a group. I've sat in benches in the High Court. You would not decide because I decided like this in my previous decision. Then you have to follow what I said. Another colleague would have decided otherwise in another decision. So it's a compromise. In short, it's a compromise between your personal thoughts and the task at hand. What do we do as colleagues in the bench? Let us decide according to the problem.
Finally, from me, my Lord, what is that one thing that my Lord, as president of the court, is coming to fix? And how is my Lord going to fix that one thing?
I know the composition of the Supreme Court as it is now. The office of the CJ is vacant. The DCJ presides. I'm not seeing any problem which needs to be put in the spanner works. Maybe all what I can say is I will enhance the collegiality. I've never sat there to see if there is any inside problem, maybe infighting amongst the judges, whereby they need to to be talked to. These senior most judges who have been there, I think all of them have been there for more than 3 years. So I'm not going to say I'm going to the Supreme Court to fix this. I don't think I can tell you that. What I can say I will fix is maybe to say if there is any backlog in that court, I will sit down with them and agree on how to clear any pending backlog. But when it comes to administrative issues, I don't think I can say that there is a problem in the Supreme Court. The judges need to be talked to. They are not working together. I don't think I can say that. And honestly, I'm not going to say I'll go and fix a certain problem which I'm seeing at the back of my mind. I know all the judges who are there. I interact with them, and I have no issue with them.
I thank you, my Lord. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Commissioner. I will now request Honorable Judge Wasame to continue with the questions.
Okay. Welcome once again, my Lord Judge. And let's start with where we left. My sister, Acting Chief Justice, left. In your view, there is no problem to be resolved in the Supreme Court, both in terms of jurisprudence, both in terms of the workings of the court. Every 5 years, people are disgruntled with the court. So in your view, you don't think there is a problem to be solved by you as the Chief Justice?
Let me say this. If there are problems, the Bible says, if the case is difficult, return it to me. And so is the Quran. Disgruntling against the Supreme Court will always be there. So it's not something where you'll say, I'll fix the Supreme Court. We are writing unanimous decisions and there is no dissenting opinion, then the problem is fixed. Because a judge of the Supreme Court has his own opinion, has his own ideas. You cannot force him to write a judgment just because of collegiality to sway him to your... We will talk, but whoever is...
So in your view, there is no problem to be solved in the Supreme Court, both in terms of perception of integrity, perception of jurisprudential problems, in terms of delayed judgments. So there is no problem in the Supreme Court for you to settle. That's what I'm asking.
Okay. I think I've been here, I've been reading what the Supreme Court is doing. It has been delivering rulings and judgments as late as this month on the issue of BBI.
I am satisfied if you say there is no problem to be settled. There is no problem.
Welcome to Tech 47. I am David Ochola. On this show, our goal is to help you keep up with tech trends as simply as possible. Whether you're tech savvy or technically challenged, when it comes to all things tech, we have you covered.
Did you know that your business keeps our economy running?
You need the skill, not the papers.
All
always tell yourselves, one day at a time. You can't do everything under one roof.
Over time, I've had to realize that good things take time.
The Grind, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Owning a home is a keystone to wealth. And building one can be quite daunting. Well, the Realtor gives you the do's and don'ts.
There are so many brokers in the market who just want to tell you I can be able to supply.
And groundbreaking.
So we clear the area and we set out the place where the house is going to be laid down.
We talk homes, land, and property.
With me, Currency Daniel.
Every Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. As the country gears up for possible BBI referendum and 2022 general elections.
As the salvos enter too familiar territory,
William Ruto will serve his 5-year term as the deputy president.
Pundits Night is here to give you powerful, thought-provoking political commentaries.
The mountain can produce a country.
They give Moses Kuria a chance to respond. Let me ask you this. Are you not taking advantage of first my situation?
You talk about the people with the ultimate power. Kikuus will vote for somebody from outside their community to be the next president of this country.
We talk to the newsmakers, the opinion shapers, and the pundits.
Fair enough. I believe
that part so that I don't
As we dissect everything you need to know to make an informed decision.
I'm DJ X.
And I'm your boy DJ Slice. On BitPlug, we bring you fresh vibes.
And of course, we bring you the best of international music.
Don't forget African vibes.
Throwback music. Alafu pia on Friday we bring the party straight to your living room. Catch us each and every Monday till Friday.
Only on BitPlug.
How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates.
The position of the Prime Minister will go to a party with the most elected members.
I clearly know that neither Raila nor Ruto are in the work plan on the roadmap for transition as far as the government is concerned.
Informative health discussions, business, farming, Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs, and music bands.
Back to the seasons of my years.
Every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Your Home of Untold Stories has been nominated for this year's Kuza Broadcasting Awards 2021 for the category The People's Choice TV Station. To vote for us, SMS Kuza to 15601 at no cost. Voting ends on the 23rd of April. TV47, the fastest growing television in the country, is inviting all our advertisers to stand with the country by showcasing their COVID support and Easter special offers at a very special advertising rate. Get in touch with our sales team on telephone number 0712-047-047 or email us at advertising@tv47.co.ke for your tailored April package. Stay safe. TV47 cares.
Authentic, natural, planned. Transforming. Endless endless benefits. Slaty, purely Kenyan. Buy now on Jumia or Amazon.
Can you believe it? You're getting married.
I want nothing but happiness for you, Mara.
I want the same for you.
What are you and Amara talking about?
Amara is my friend. She is getting married to one of my closest friends, so not today.
In this life, everyone have their own paths. I want you to promise me that you'll never give up in life.
The Nyali Golf View is situated along Links Road, Nyali, near the Mamba roundabout. Accommodation at the Nyali Golf View ranges from luxurious, air-conditioned, self-catering, elegantly designed 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and a presidential suite. The apartments are ideal for families and business people. Be it a holiday or a business conference, Nyali Golf View Residence is the right place for you. All rooms reflect exquisite and high-standard decor and cozy ambience that will enhance your stay. Nyali Golf View Residence also offers a fully equipped gym, the real infinity pool, laundry services, valet parking space, and a play area for your children. The Nyali Golf View Residence delivers the best all-round hospitality. At the Nyali Golf View, you have room to think, room to play, room to recharge, room to walk tall, and room to unwind and dream, because it's not a room, it's a residence. For booking and reservation, contact us on 0757 298 272 or email us at nyaligolfview@gmail.com or visit our website at www.nyaligolfview.com.
Welcome to the exciting world of M-Truck Solutions, your trusted provider for bulk SMSs. We also offer API integrations for all your communication and payment needs. We also provide you with tailor-made payment getaway solution to receive and disperse cash quickly, affordable and securely. Let us expand your reach and connectivity on USSD, SMS and voice today. Call us on 0723 030 030 or email hello@mtruck.limited.co.ke. For more details, visit our website www.mtrucklimited.co.ke.
Life is a journey full of challenges, and sometimes it can be a challenge to make a decision, to make a new home, to find truth, to succeed, and to make the world a better place. Here at Mount Kenya University, it doesn't matter where you came from. What matters is where you are going. Mount Kenya University offers certificate, diploma, bachelor's, postgraduate diploma, master's, and PhD programs. Our programs are offered in our Thika main campus, Meru campus, Nairobi campus, Parklands Law campus, Nakuru campus, Eldoret campus, and Mombasa campus. Mount Kenya University admits both government and self-sponsored students. We offer flexible modes of study, day, evening, weekend, and Odell. Intakes are ongoing for April and May 2021. To apply, you can go to our website mku.ac.ke or call us on 0709 153 000 or 0720 790 796. Join us today and train with the best to become the best. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities. To prevent the spread of COVID-19, clean your hands often. Use soap and water or an alcohol-based hand rub. Maintain a safe distance from anyone who is coughing or sneezing. Wear a mask when physical distancing is not possible. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth. Cover your nose and mouth with your bent elbow or a tissue when you cough or sneeze. Stay home if you feel unwell. If you have a fever, cough, and difficulty breathing, seek medical attention. Stay safe. TV47 cares. How well do you know what's happening around you? Morning Cafe with heated political debates.
The position of the Prime Minister will go to a party with the most elected members.
I clearly know that neither Raila nor Ruto are in the work plan on the roadmap for transition as far as the government is concerned.
Informative health discussions, business, farming, Tasty Wednesday, Fitness Thursday, and Feel Good Friday with amazing DJs, celebs, and music bands.
Back to the seasons of my youth.
Every Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Yes, what will you do as a presiding judge and the president of the Court of Appeal in such a scenario? The president of the Supreme Court in such a scenario where the time has been consumed by the courts. And I can tell you for free, 2.5, almost 3 months of the 6 months of Mother Karua was consumed in the Court of Appeal. And almost 2 months, almost 3 months was consumed by the High Court. So therefore, I want you to address your mind whether the 6 months should be consecutive between the courts or concurrent. That which means if the matter comes to the Court of Appeal and it's remitted back, when does time run for the 6 months?
Okay, I'm getting you. I'll go back to what Acting CJ has asked me. The law serves the society, and not the society to be served by the law. What is the substantive justice in this matter? The petitioner wanted to be heard, and for us to know whether the person who was elected was properly elected. I'll go with this consecutive, so that since another court has been utilizing the 6 months, which was to be used by the High Court, let the 6 months start running from the time you stopped, if you stopped after 2.5 months. But also, a case is decided on its own merit. I don't know whether the judge felt that you are the one who started initiating this and frivolous and whatever. That's why I'm saying it's not cast on stone where you say consecutive or concurrent. It will all depend on what has transpired, because sometimes a judge will see you are the one bringing in delaying tactics. We sat here, we agreed to hear the matter. The moment a witness is put there, you raise objection. I allow you, we want, because as I've seen a recent decision in the Supreme Court on criminal matters, you have asked me that whenever there is an application for interim orders, the case should continue before the trial court. So in my view, I would even say, even if they are preliminary, unless the Court of Appeal stops me as a judge of the High Court to hear the matter, and if the litigant doesn't want to come and proceed with this case, when you come back, I'll tell you my 6 months is running. But if there is a stop time by the Court of Appeal saying the petition court should stop hearing the petition, then time stops running. That's the practicality of it.
Okay. What solution do you have on matters involving integrity by judges and magistrates?
I believe by now 80% of the judges were vetted and approved by this commission. You must have looked their background and you are well conversant with their integrity. So integrity is not something which you can say this man has a high integrity. It can be lost within an hour for other reasons. What will I do to ensure that the judges and magistrates are people of high moral integrity, professional, and do their work so that we enhance the good name of the institution? First and foremost, we need training we also need to know what are the problems bedeviling the institution in form of corruption, real and perceived. What is the problem? How do we go about it? There are those incidents of corruption in the registry and whatnot. Those ones can be dealt with through technology and transparency. But you know, now every judicial officer decides, makes decision personally on his own, or the benches in the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. So I'll do my best to try and see how we can reshape the integrity of the judges, so that they know it is their utmost requirement that a judge who has been bestowed with the position of being a judicial officer should behave, and both as a judge and as a citizen of this country, with high integrity and professionalism. So there is no cure where you can say, I'll come with a spray and spray them and they will all be people of integrity. It's something which takes time, and it's a negotiated thing. It is something which you have to, and also you will see, because as the president of the Supreme Court and the head of judiciary, the letters will come. I was a presiding judge, and I'll give an example. You have like 10 magistrates under you. You will receive letters, complaints. Some are real, some are just because somebody has lost his case. So, Commissioner, I will endeavor to ensure that this aspect of integrity is enhanced, and the judicial officers, because it's cut across, like you said, delayed judgments. That also affects the integrity of the judicial officer. Whoever is waiting for that judgment might think that this judge, why is he delaying? So he loses confidence on the judiciary as an institution. So the processes of work, if they improved, integrity also improves.
Okay. The next two questions, which I'm almost through, my Lord, will require cure and spray, maybe some magical solutions. My Lord, you are aware that JSC has recommended for appointment 41 judges to His Excellency the President of the Republic of Kenya. As you are aware, that process has not been completed. What would you do to ensure the exercise is completed? And are you up to the task? This requires cure.
Thank you, Commissioner. I've thought about this one, and in my presumption, I knew this question will come across. I can say, you know, you can't say that you will have that spray once again, because this is something which, and maybe you'll give me time, we talk about this problem extensively. It's not something I can say in 3 minutes. And I also be honest and say that the JSC also played a role in having this problem. How did you leave it to the extent that you need 11 Court of Appeal judges at one go? How? You were here, you saw judges retiring, you saw judges being promoted to other courts. Why couldn't you have a system of promoting or recruiting like 3, 4, 5? Because the executive is saying it could be an excuse, but that's what they are saying. We read it. How can we employ 41 judges? Where are the resources?
I don't want you to speak for the executive. I don't want you to speak for JSC. I want you to speak for yourself and give us a solution.
Okay, this is my solution. I will approach the executive. We have a problem. The Court of Appeal is not working.
I can tell you the Court of Appeal is working, so I want a solution.
Let us try to to make it interactive. It's working, but if I'm in Malindi, is it working there? The judges are not there. The judges are not in Nyeri. The judges are not in Kisumu. It is working, and it sits in benches of 3. There are about 14. I'm not exact about the number. So it is not working as it's supposed to be. Maybe that will be the correct approach. Because if it is working at its optimal level, all the other stations will be having judges, but they are not there. So my first meeting with the executive, you said you don't want me to talk with them, but I have to meet them. Because how do you solve this problem? I can't sit and swear these judges. I can't. Even if the court orders me to swear them, I will not. I am a man of principles. I have to follow the law. So the law says it's the president to gazette them and swear them. That's the law. So I cannot sit and say, as the president of the Supreme Court and head of Judiciary, I will solve it on my own. I have to go and sit down with the person responsible for swearing them, and this is the president. We have this problem. I also have to know their reasons why they are not swearing them. Although we have had it in the public domain, has anybody sat with the president and asked him, why are you not swearing this? Maybe he has his own reason. And I believe it's something which now can be whittled down into several parts. And this is my thoughts. If there is no problem with the 10 judges of the labor courts, I will have them, and the president is ready to swear them, I will say swear them. Then we slowly go to the other problem. If there is no problem with the judges of the land court, there are 20, and the responsible person says, I can swear this one, I will quickly call them and go to State House and have them sworn. Then we go to the Court of Appeal. What is the problem? So I have to know first what is the problem. I don't want to speculate that there is A, B, C, D. We have to know what is the problem. And if there are individuals within those who are vetted where there is a problem. Maybe Swahili is a national language. We Swahili say it's better to take 9 rather than wait for 10. So if I'm told I can swear these 40 except 41, I will take it. I know people will say how the president of the Court of Appeal, the Supreme Court, was compromised. No, we want the work to move. Aren't you better off with the 20 of those judges sworn and coming to the judiciary to work? And then we'll deal with those ones who have not been sworn in. What is their problem? So I'm not saying that if you are to declare me the CJ, it's something I will say within my 100 days you will see those judges there. It also depends on, we have been there for almost a year. Why hasn't it been solved?
Thank you very much, Judge. And another problem we are facing is the disobedience of court orders. What would you do to ensure court orders are obeyed and we all submit to the rule of law as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya?
I've been asked the question, what type of a leader are you coming? The transformative leadership is all-encompassing, but there are those other aspects of leadership. As a leader, you also have to go to the deep root of those problems. First and foremost, you need solutions. I have to come up with a catalog of those orders which have not been complied with. I know, apart from orders, there are even the simplest of issues. As a judge, you see an application to commit a PS to civil jail because X was knocked down by a GK vehicle. He has not been paid. 300,000 has multiplied to 1 million because of interest. That also is disobedience of a court order. The judgment says you pay. I've seen effort from the executive where they say they will come up with a budget through the AG's office to pay some of these things. But let's go now to the core, where you say there is disobedience of court orders. I wish you would have given me an example to say like the court said this, but okay, there are those was like even for the 41 judges, there are court orders. I believe that is one example. There are court orders that they be sworn in. The only cure I will tell you, and this is for a fact, I don't want to beat about the bush, I've told you, the only solution is negotiation. I believe whoever is disobeying the court order, we swear by the Constitution that we will ensure that we'll abide by the Constitution. The Constitution establishes the rule of law, so we should all be controlled by the law. So negotiation will be my main focus. There is this order which says ABCD, and the so and so is disobeying this court order. Can we have it complied with? Because we cannot have court orders in vain. Then why do we have the judiciary?
And lastly, my Lord Judge, why Cielo and not Kwale? And thank you very much. I wish you well.
Can I hear the why not?
I said why Cielo and not Kwale? And I wish you well.
Thank you, Commissioner. I didn't get the comparative of Isiolo and...
if I give you the comparative, is that you said the court in Isiolo should have been built in Meru and something like that, and then you commented on Kwale, your hometown, and I'm now saying, why Isiolo and not Kwale? Why have you not said the court in Kwale should have been built in Meru? Why are you picking on Isiolo? I wish you well.
Thank you so much. Why Isiolo and not Kwale? I'm not saying that the Isiolo County does not deserve that court. But we, as a judiciary, we are thin on resources. So this effective utilization of resources should be used effectively. If you have a court which can serve for the next 10 years in Isiolo, why do you build another one there? That is my issue. Is it proper utilization of resources? The Isiolo court could have come maybe another 5 years that. Why not? Why Kwale? Kwale, I've practiced in Mombasa. It has a sizable number of cases from Kwale, especially land. And I've practiced in Meru. That's why I say Isiolo. I've seen I've been a judge in Meru. I've seen the number of appeals coming from Isiolo. Basically, there is the Isiolo court and I think a circuit at Archer's Post. Those are the main courts in Isiolo. But if you compare it with the Kwale, the volume of work in Kwale, there are how many magistrates? There are two courts actually in Kwale, Msambweni and Kwale. But I was just saying, giving a comparative of proper utilization of resources, but I'm not saying that Isiolo does not deserve, because the general objective is to put up a high court station in each county, and I do agree that we need a high court station in Isiolo. We need it. To add more on that, I believe I've been in Marsabit, and I am wondering why the judge in Marsabit cannot go to Isiolo to open up the court. He's idle in Marsabit, less than 200 files.
Thank you very much, Honorable Judge. Judge, the Commission received sample writings as we requested, so I will now ask Honorable Justice David Majaja to ask you questions regarding technical writing. Judge Majaja.
Thank you, Chair. My Lord, you submitted 5 judgments ranging from 2011 up to 2017. I was just wondering whether you stopped writing after 2017.
Honestly, Commissioner, when I was told sample writings, this is my first time I'm appearing for interview. It never crossed my mind that I'll come here and be asked in this writing. I would have slept for 1 week and picked what I think would have been ideal. But when I was told sample writing, I thought you would just come and look at them and say, is this judge within the parameters of judgments and whatever.
So you're saying these are not your best?
No, I can't say they are my best. Whatever judgment you write is your best, but there are those ones you say, these ones, it's like your clothes. All are your clothes, but you have your Sunday best.
Okay. So anyway, before I proceed on the sample writings, I just want to follow up the 1 or 2 issues that were dealt with by my colleagues. The first one was the issue of perception, because in administration of justice, perception plays a very important role. That's why we say justice must be seen to be done. And I don't know whether I got it right. You actually said that perception is a problem that cannot be settled. That was your statement. If you look at if you've read the strategic plan of the Supreme Court, one of the threats they identify, and I believe that goes for the entire judiciary, is the threat of shifting public perception